What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 5-Star Skills channel. You know what it is. In today's video, we will be talking about 3 ways Ruben Amorim can change his fortunes at Man United. And yeah, ultimately, you probably won't agree with me. A lot of you are probably saying, oh, I'm chatting shit again, blah, blah, blah. But listen, I'm only here to talk about my thoughts and opinions. What I genuinely think. I'm not going to be faking how I feel about this team, how I feel about this club. I love this club. The most important thing is I really don't care who's manager at this point. I just want us to win games. I want us to win trophies. I want us to be back to where we're meant to be. I don't care who's in charge, really. But there's some 3 key ways that Amorim can really turn things around. Because obviously, yeah, there's a lot of pressure on him right now. And I know some people on Twitter in recent days have been posting Twitter stats about, oh, we have the most XG created, blah, blah, blah. Listen, it's been 3 games. But I watch football with my eyes. There's issues with this team right now. And there's ways things can be turned around. The first thing I want to talk about is moving to a midfield tree. Right. This team, with the current midfielders we haven't been backed in the window, or he hasn't been given a midfielder in the window. We need to play a midfield tree. It's crucial. We cannot play 2 in the midfield anymore. Because Kobbie, Bruno, Casemiro, Ugarte, none of those can play in the midfield too. The combination doesn't work. We've tried it. We've tested it. It does not work. A midfield tree has a higher chance of reducing the weaknesses they have. So I'm going to go and show you the lineup that I've set up. So obviously it's a 4-2-3-1. You got Lemans in goal, Mazraoui, or you can play Dalot right back. To be honest, when Dalot plays right back, he's solid. He's just not a wing back. But I'm going to start with Mazraoui because I like him more. I think he's a better player overall. Euro and De Ligt, I think they're our best 2 centre-halves right now. Martinez, you could probably swap De Ligt for when he comes back to fitness, but I'm happy with De Ligt. I love his aggressiveness. I love Euro, one of the best young centre-backs in the world right now. And Dorgu left back. I'm going for Dorgu left back because, one, he's more athletic than Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is just, I want him gone. He should be in the bomb squad, to be honest. The fact he's not in the bomb squad is disgraceful, to be honest. I want Dorgu playing left back. He's not a left wing back. He's not offensive enough. He doesn't get high up the pitch enough. I feel like as a left back, when he's given space to drive with the ball, he looks a lot better than as a wing back, in my opinion. So I have him here. The midfield 2, Casemiro and Mino. The only midfielder you can swap here is maybe Ugarte for Casemiro, but Mino has to play. That is one of the most important points I want to say. The first point was midfield 3. The second point is Kobbie needs to play. In a midfield 3, this works. Kobbie in a midfield 2 is shit. He doesn't have the legs for it. But in a midfield 3, where you're telling him and Cass to sit back, giving Kobbie the license to drive forward when we're attacking, and Cass as the lone 6, it's better than what we're doing right now. Just a midfield 2 where we're being outnumbered. I know Bruno off the ball, he works hard, he can track back, but he himself can't play in the midfield 2 as an 8. It doesn't work with him. So in the midfield 3, we have Bruno tracking back, Casemiro is the more defensive one, and Kobbie as well sitting deeper. It's more balanced. It makes us more rigid because games are won and lost in the midfield. I will keep saying this till kingdom come. You need a midfield that has some sort of stability. And ultimately, it's up to the manager to get the best out of this midfield because, yeah, you can say the combinations isn't great in the midfield too, but these players aren't shit, man. It's your job as a manager to get the best out of these midfielders. What's given to your disposal. You need to understand who we're up against and whether Ugarte needs to play if we need more defensive robustness off the ball. You know, I wouldn't be against that, but ultimately, I feel like this is our best midfield throughout the season. This should be the midfield starting week in, week out for us in total. I don't see any reason why a midfield 3 cannot be played for us. Again, the only issue with this is the manager. He's too stubborn. He's going to go for the 3-4-3, and it's not going to work. He will get found out. It's not going to work. We're going to keep struggling. Even though, yeah, the players wasted chances against Burnley, we still got dominated in the midfield. It's an issue. We cannot if you're getting dominated by Burnley in the midfield, there's something wrong. There really is. And I know we're up against E next. I know we're up against Chelsea. We do get up for the big games. That is not my concern. The issue with Man United is we refuse to play well against the small teams. Let me zoom in and say that again. We refuse to play well against the small teams. The mid-table teams, the lower table teams, that is where we're struggling to get points. That is our issue. Not a 3-4-3, not a midfield 2. I mean, sorry, not the big teams. That is not our issue. The small and mid-table teams are our issue. We refuse to get results against these guys. So that was my point. Going to a midfield tree can resolve that. We will definitely, I promise you, we will not be getting ran through the midfield if we have a midfield tree. Not as easily anyways. I doubt it highly. And obviously, Mbumo, naturally, he's a right winger. He's a touchline winger. You want Mbumo here. Mbumo is a closer profile to Mo Salah in the league. You have him here as a touchline winger, cutting in, getting shots off, getting crosses into Sesko, in swingers. It's perfect. It will work. I feel like he'll be, as good as he's been, I feel like he'll be even more effective if you play him as a touchline winger. Cunha, he's not a touchline winger, but he can drift in. Like I was saying in the last video talking about Wirtz, if you play Cunha in this area, almost like a in between the 10, in between the left winger, hybrid position, have him here receiving the ball off Dorgu. You order Dorgu to push up here, force the overlap and run. Have Cunha be on the inside, and then Dorgu can cross, because Dorgu has a decent cross when he relaxes and composes himself. Sometimes he tends to snatch at chances, snatch at crosses, and just he puts it out to the stands. But when he has time to whip the ball in, he's actually decent on the left foot. But I expect Dorgu, if I'm the manager, be the touchline winger in this situation, drive high up the field, force that overlap and run, play one to with Cunha, he can get a cross in, or you play the ball into Cunha, Cunha drifts in here and he can create chances by himself. Cunha, with his dribbling ability, being good with both feet, he's hard to beat. He's really, really hard to beat. So yeah, like this team really, really makes me happy. Again, no, it makes me sad, to be honest, because I know we're not going to be playing this. I know we're not going to be doing this. But ultimately, I feel like that is our best team going forward. But let me go back to the formation. If you want to play a back three, let's for argument's say he wants to play a 3-4-3. No, not a 3-4-3. If you want to play that 3-5-2, I mean a 3 at the back, whatever, go to a 3-5-2. You can still do this. You can play a midfield tree of Casemiro, Mino, Dorgu on the left. This is the issue though. This is the only issue with this 3-5-2 formation. Because Sesko has to play. And Cunha, one of these loses out. You can't play Mbumo as a right wing back. I will not have that. So in my opinion, like the answer is easy. Go to a 4-3-3. Go to a 4-3-3. Go to a 4-2-3-1 where we have a right back. Where it's a more balanced. Where Mbumo can be a touchline winger. I do not ever want to see Mbumo as a right wing back. Track him back. He needs to be up here. Past the halfway line of the pitch. On the touchline, cutting in. Getting chances away. That's the best way I see this team being. Ultimately. Again, lads. That's pretty much the video. Time will tell with this manager, but I feel like 4-3-3, 4-3-1, just a midfield tree, pushing the wing backs higher, and playing a midfield tree is the easiest way for us to get back and get results again. Because ultimately, the 3-4-3, yes, it can work, but with the way Amorim sets up his teams, it's not going to work. Not with this midfield. Not until we get a midfielder in January. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. But yeah, that's this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tapped into the content, and I'll see you in the next one.